think for me, it's building momentum. I feel like, we'll do really well. There was a video that Tim and I posted where we were working out together, and that did really well. But then I just lose that momentum a little bit because, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do if I'm selling this to women? If I'm marketing this mostly to women, then, Tim and I are going to be working out all the time together. So now, I guess we could cook together. It's just keeping that momentum and being creative. And because it's like, okay, now I have, more engagement, but how do I keep people engaged, I guess?
Yep. Exactly.
I struggle with that. Yeah.
Yep. That's a great question. And that's something too, that like perpetually, like, Chelsea, Katie, that you guys will, confront, kind of as well, if you haven't already. It's like, how do you keep this content like fresh, or like come up with new stuff all the time? Because it's really true. People get really bored of the same stuff. Like, and so like Lindsay, like we're always, the fitness industry is like, again, I think that both of your guys' industry, fitness and kind of that dance, like the dance kind of community and industry there too, is very much a very trend-based, like fast-paced, changing environment. There's a lot going on, right? And it's a place where it always has to be refreshed. There always has to be a new machine, a new way of doing it, and it's funny because, dancing is dancing, right? Mm-hmm. And like, your muscles, your bicep is a bicep, right? It's been that way for a very long time, right? And it's like, but the way that people talk about working out the bicep or doing whatever, like, no, this is the only way to work out was with bands, or this is the only way is only body weight, or it's the only way to do it is, with dumbbells or with a bar or whatever it is. And it's like, really, when it comes down to it, it's really just making it fresh and new and fun for the audience. And that's why using giveaways, using accessory type of things, like pulling in to that to make it so that it's still the same thing. Like, don't be a lazy ass and eat like crazy, right? And work out, right? Like, it's a pretty simple concept, but let's make it interesting, right? Like, let's reward people for stuff. Let's do giveaways. Let's do prizes. Let's create an environment or a community of people that, really they're there to support and help one another, right? And so at the end of the day, it's a matter of, how do you continually refresh that through other external things? But then there's going to be times too where you are going to launch a new program, like you guys are, Tim and Amy. You're going to launch a brand new kind of like program here. You've packaged it, and now you just need to really promote. Even to you, it's going to seem like, it's basically the same thing I've been doing forever. But to everyone else, you got to remember, it's not. It is this is revolutionary. Like, this is like something that I've never done before. I've never launched all of this. I've never given somebody in a program all of this. Like, this is it. Like, this is all of my work over the last 10 years, 15 years of coaching and training and putting on boot camps and in-person training and owning a gym. Like, guys, we've put it all into this program for you. And we've made this thing crazy, crazy affordable at only X amount of dollars. This is what you get, so that you can, not just, you're going to get 30 days of workouts. It's not 30 days of workouts. You're going to get 30 days of workouts that we've seen over the last 10 years that have been proven to help people lose weight, build muscle, and to feel better about themselves, right? To actually hit their goals. We're going to give you custom or give you a meal guidance sheet so that you can know exactly what to eat. So you're not tempted to grab a burger and fries on the way home, but you know what you can actually eat. and rather you'll have a plan because you've already gone to the grocery store and you already know what you're going to do that week. Stuff like that, where it's like, it's more than just a new program or just, sign up for this now. It's like, you've never seen anything like this before. It's an over exaggeration of the same thing. And it's called marketing, right? It's called marketing, right? And promotion. And the same with like, Chelsea and Katie, like your product may be really high quality and your competitors are not. There might be fewer competitors in the space that you guys are at. The same thing goes. It's an over exaggeration of what it is. I find myself when I'm writing copy or doing something like that for my own business, I'm always like, well, that seems a little bit like, much. But then when I go and I'm like, when did I buy that $3,000 course or whatever, right? Or something like that. You're like, yeah. And I go back and I look at the page, like the sales page for it. I'm like, that was pretty exaggerated. And as a marketer, I'm like, yep, I fell for that, right? Like, or I did that because, it promised me that, I could jump like Michael Jordan, right? Or whatever it might be. And it's like, well, here we go, right? I did it. And it's like, man, I don't know if, there's definitely one of those things where it's like, you're not lying about your product, but you need to talk about your product like it is the only solution. You got to really believe in it. And that's sales in general, right? Take a salesperson that doesn't believe in the product, they'll never sell anything. You get somebody who owns the product, they love the product, they use the product every day. If Chelsea, if you're wearing your product, like dancing in it every single day, and Katie, the same thing, right? Like if you guys are using it and everyone is like, you're, getting it into their hands. And this is, Tim and Amy, like your guys' program is all you guys do is this. And you guys are the biggest testimonial and hugest fans, at least initially, that's going to sell. It's going to sell the product, right? And then you start getting your diehard fans and people who join, who've gotten results from it or who love the product, and they start talking about it. That's when it starts to scale with your launch. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of like a tidbit there on kind of where to start. Just again, this all comes down to high velocity marketing, right? It's just fast, as many avenues as you can go in with reaching the audience, but the messaging and the actual like product itself stay focused and like centric on the key features of what people want, and just drive those home 5 times a day on your story, posting every day, doing lots of different promotional things. And it'll seem nauseating at first, like you'd be like, man, it's so much like content. But if you can push through that launch with it and then couple that with ads, it really will catapult things. But there has to be a lot of movement on the ground prior to that. And whenever I would promote an event, I would always be doing like 2 Facebook Lives a day. Just, it could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but I was just on the platform all day long, messaging, creating events, talking to people, commenting on every single thing, like as fast as I could, like just living on that as I'm promoting. And then as soon as I start to see that kind of dip a little bit, ads jump in, and then they can kind of start carrying it. And Facebook's like, man, this thing is like moving, and it wants to promote it out there. And so your ads are going to be better with that as well, because you're going to be, Zuckerberg's going to be on your side, which is a rare thing to say. Zuckerberg being on your side.
I like that.
Yeah.